percent of 1% has had a rise from 79 to 87 of about 390% in their income, change in their income. The bottom 90% has had 5% change in their income in that same time period. The bottom 90%, you know, I mean, that's just, I mean, that's insane. The top 1% claims 60% of all income growth. But when you look at the top 10%, the top 10% richest people in this country, they claim 90 plus % of income growth from 79 to 2007. 10% have gotten 90% of the income. That's just crazy. The bottom 90%, that's the rest of it. They've gotten less than 10%. But it's just insane. And I got numbers here. I mean, the richest 1/100th of a percent or 20, they make $7 bottom 90% makes $31,000 a year. Absolutely, a small change in gas or a small change in wages has a big impact.
The issue of sales tax to the lower 99%.
Well, I mean, sales tax is a regressive tax, right? I mean, it's the same as a flat tax, but it's even worse than a flat tax because for the poor people, they have to spend their money. And when you spend your money in a sales tax, it gets taxed. So they spend 100% of their money every week or every month, every 2 weeks, and it's all taxed at the rate of sales tax. But the wealthy can hold on to a large percentage of their income, which then is not taxed because they don't spend it. So a sales tax, when we talk about a flat tax as being regressive, but a sales tax is just vicious because it really did. The poor pay so much more.
Exactly right.
Yeah, 4%. And we're almost peaking out. And there's other ways to provide income and to transfer the wealth, the wealth to the working poor. There's much more. But when we look at net worth, just simple net worth, the top 20% have 85%, basically of all the shit that they have. The top 20% have 85% of it, and that's net worth. Now, and the top 1% have 35%. But when we look at actual financial wealth, that's when we exclude the homes, and we look at financial wealth. The top 20% have 93% of all the goodies in this country. I mean, that's just crazy. The top 20% have 90%. That means the bottom 80% of the state has got 7% of the shit that's tied up amongst ourselves. I mean, if that's just not wrong, I mean, if I were to go around and make up a picture to highlight disparity in a country, I wouldn't even make up a picture that crazy. You know, I mean, that's just insane.
And live on a pie chart. That's
yeah, and we live in this. I mean, this is the 90%. That's our share of financial wealth in this country. I mean, why don't they feel weak? People just don't handle it.
I'm sorry, they are. I read it all today.
But some people are afraid. They don't want to. Some people are afraid. I mean, a lot of people are busy trying to do what? I mean, they're trying to get their little piece of the pie. They're busy trying to feed their family and, you know, trying to put a roof over their head.
They look like high school guys. Don't really know what's going on, or college guys.
There are people who just don't know. You know.
Like that person over there, for instance.
My sociology class every semester, and if I'm lucky, I've got 1 or 2 people who know about it. If I'm lucky, and even this semester, was all over the news. I had, again, maybe one or two students who knew about it.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, is this stuff taught in high school?
No.
Ask our high school students. No.
Wow. Yeah.
No, absolutely not, because you might be talking about revolution. I mean, holy shit, how else can you talk about the bottom 80% of this country having less than 10% of something, and revolution not be the next word that comes out of your mouth? I mean, you know, any country, that would be what's happening. I mean, how do they get that way? CEOs, in 2006, CEOs made 350 times more than their average worker. 350 times more than their average worker CEOs made. I mean, you can see CEOs change in wages from 1990 to 2005. That's the blue line, or CEOs change in wages. The bottom two lines are production workers and federal minimum wage.
They're going down now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if you look, the federal minimum wage is gone down. And CEOs and S&P 500 and corporate profits are all going up. I mean, who makes the money that the CEOs take home? Who makes the money that makes, I mean, who makes the profits that makes the corporation profits go up? Who produces those goods? The workers. The workers. The workers somewhere.
Wherever they're taking the
That is the workers out, and the country collapses.
That's right. You said if the CEOs walked out the door, nobody would know it. If the workers walked out the door, the whole shit would stop. Yeah. I mean, just to get a sense of the inequality in this country, if we took a football field and laid out a football field, and then we took the amount of money that the average person makes, and we put it in $100 bills, at the 50-yard line, the median income at the 50-yard line would be a stack of $100 bills 1.6 inches high, okay? At the median, at the 50-yard line, $100 bills 1.6 inches high. At the 95th percentile, the top 5%, their stack, the 95th percentile, would be 4 inches high. Now that's, you know, that's a little bit of disparity, but I'm all right with that. But then you look at that, the richest 1%, the very wealthy of the wealthy. So we'll just pick on Bill Gates, for example. If we talk about Bill Gates, in any average year, Bill Gates' income that he made would produce a stack of $100 bills 30 miles high.
I can't.
His salary was more than some third world country's GPD.
30 miles.
He shares it, and he did start out, you know, he does share his wealth, and we can. Some of those jerks that they have to hire because they need good people to run the businesses into bankruptcy and still get those golden parachutes.
Sure, and absolutely. I mean, there are worse examples. All I'm trying to do is pick out somebody who we know in our heads. But I can talk to you about the idea of, well, I get all these profits from my corporation because I'm exploiting my workers, and then I turn around and I'm going to give them back to them, but I'm going to tell them where they can spend them.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something fundamentally wrong with that as well. But, yeah. And what does all this inequality mean? All this inequality that our country is experiencing translates into pain and suffering for those folks on the bottom end of things. I mean, poverty translates into death. You know, poverty translates into illness, into maiming. I mean, poverty translates into excessive suffering. Yeah. And that's just not tolerable. And if we think about the things that we want, we don't want much. You know, all we really want is the same shot at things that the founders of this country believed in, that our forefathers had in mind. We want a shot at jobs in order to be able to make a living. We want a shot at health care in order to be able to have a right to take care of ourselves when we're sick. We want a shot at infrastructure that's safe and workable, bridges. I mean, we want a shot at homes that we can stay in and not be evicted from unjustly and unfairly. But I got to say, most importantly, we want a shot at a political system that is not bought by the almighty we need corporate markets.
Woo!
That's all it is. That's exactly all it is. And if we could have elections in which money were out of the elections, we could get the rest of this shit. We could get the rest of what we need because the politicians would be responsive to us. Because it becomes one person, one vote, and not one person, $500 million.
Saturday from